Back once again for the renegade master. 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 Back once again for the renegade master.
Hello my renegades and welcome back. And what are we getting back into? We are getting back into Love Island series 11. We are now on episode 35. All I'm gonna say is please don't let Mimi be entertaining Ayo, because I swear I can't cope with the tomfoolery. And it's gonna be juicy tonight because we know our recoupling is coming up too. Anyway, before we get into this episode, as I always ask, please hit that subscribe button, please hit that notification button so when you know I'm doing videos. Please comment, like, share and do all the good things that you do, because I am on the road to 1k. Yes, dearie, I am. And let's get into this episode, shall we? So basically Kieran brings Lolly out of the hideaway. Now before Kieran comes out, the girls believe that Lolly picked Kieran for a reaction, and I'm just like, more so Lolly was just curious about Kieran and Nicole, because this is what some girls do when they realise that, you know what, that a man or even a guy where a woman is unobtainable, they still want to see if there's a little bit of a sliver, a little bit of a leeway that they can poke themselves through. They want to see if there's some weaknesses there that they can manipulate and take advantage of. But Lolly knows that this man is full on taken. Now for me, it's when they come out of the hideaway and the girls all start saying hi to Lolly, and I'm like, you just been full on bagging this girl like a Gordon, and you's like all come out, and as soon as she comes out, they're all like, hi, how you doing? I'm like, yeah, false niceties are not gonna do me, because I will read through that shit. I will read through that shit like fucking toilet paper, let me tell you. Yeah, and my spirit probably would not take the majority of them, because I know they've all been sitting there just bagging me basically. So it comes to something when Joey turns to Jesse and tells Jesse to make Lolly feel welcome. It comes to something when your man has to tell you something like that. So Nicole is definitely pissed for real, and I don't blame her, to be fair, because that pick was weird. I mean, you've watched the show, you know where they're at. It didn't make no sense to pick Kieran at the end of the day. I thought Nicole needs to kind of just level and chill though, because at the end of the day, she needs to show that, you know what, Kieran had her back. She needs to trust in Kieran at the end of the day, because I think that's what's missing with Nicole sometimes. So what happens is she, even though she came and she said hello to them and everything like that, Lolly decided that she was going to go speak to the lads first and then come to the girls afterwards. Now the girls make me laugh because they're all sitting there like pretending that they ain't listening to the shit that's being said from way back yonder. Do you know what I mean? So she introduces herself to the guys, and I'm just like, these girls, the other girls are all over the place. They're all over the place. Yeah. All I'm have to say is that, to be fair, it is a bit late in the day for somebody else to come in, and especially if Lolly's gonna try and come in and try and break up connections that have already been made. I don't think it's going to help or support her in any way, shape or form. So if I was her, I would start looking at the guys that haven't got those connections, like Connor, like Ruben. Forget about Josh, because Josh is just all about Mimi at this moment in time, so that ain't gonna work. But I don't necessarily think that Lolly likes black guys in that sense, even though she does find Connor attractive. I don't know. That's the vibe that I was getting anyway. So the people that she really has to choose from is Connor, Josh and Ruben. That's it, unless she wants to play fast and loose with Ayo. But Ayo likes his black women, so I don't think she'd get a look in there either. I think that's when Lolly then again goes over to the girls to have a chat with them. And these girls are funny for real, like really funny for real, because the false greeting to Lolly is on top tier, like absolute top tier, and you could tell that it was a false greeting, and you could cut that tension with a knife. So Joey was basically asking the lads, what did Jesse do in regards to when he was in there with Lolly? Kieran was trying to say that, you know, Jesse was trying to act cool And I was like, my girl wanted to storm the building and pillage it. Let's just say it that way. Jessie wanted to draw blood. She wanted to go in there and literally snatch Joey out from underneath Lolly. And I think that's the type of behaviour that Joey likes. He likes that. He likes that Jessie is quite open with her emotions. But when it comes to jealousy, my guy, there's a fine line. There's a fine line of how much you are going to take when it comes to the jealous, can't get my words out. When it comes to the jealous side of Jessie, because what she's shown right now, I'd be worried. I'd be really worried if I was Joey. Anyway, so Lolly explains it to Nicole as to why she picked Kieran. Even though she's explaining it, yeah, she's still explaining it as though she didn't pick him like to want to have a connection with him or anything like that. She was just curious, And I'm kind of like, it's still a no-go area though. Usually that was just the pointless task of Lolly picking Kieran at the end of the day. So you see Ruben and Grace having a chat, and basically Ruben is saying that he just wants to chat to Grace. To be fair, he says that their conversations are good and amazing, and basically he wants to take the next step. So Grace is kind of questioning, well, what is the next step? I'm like, Grace, you play too much, because you know exactly what this guy is angling for at the end of the day. So he angles for a kiss, he gets the kiss. Grace is happy giving him that kiss. She doesn't give Ruben, that I notice, any compliments at all, because Ruben is all about giving and uplifting Grace and giving her those compliments. I don't see her give Ruben not a one compliment at the end of the day. I don't know if Grace is fully feeling Ruben. I think she's just with him by default, yeah, because she didn't get it rocket with Blade, she didn't rock it with Joey, and she certainly ain't going to get Josh. So yeah, I just think she's with Ruben by default. So you see Nicole and Kieran talking, and Nicole says she doesn't want to know about their date, but she does. Nicole wants to know about the date with Lolly and Kieran at the end of the day. But what Nicole has to realise, it was beyond Kieran's control, so she can't get mad at Kieran at being picked at the end of the day. She's got to let him do what he needs to do and trust in that you know, he's thinking of her at that time, that he's doing whatever the fuck he's doing, and that's what he did. I'm not gonna lie though, I just feel like Kieran is literally flatlined. Like the last couple of episodes, Kieran is literally flatlined. Like he's not his same outgoing self. He is a lot more quieter. He's a lot more calm. He's a lot more placid. It's just it's kind of weird to watch. It is kind of weird to watch, because he's literally sitting in his insecurities, and he's not able to like talk about it that much. I mean, there was a case of, like, you know, Nicole's trying to reassure him that she is there for him, that she loves him as much as he loves her, or probably even more, but Kieran's just not taking that at all. So then you see Grace talking to Matilda and Mimi about Ruben, and she talks about how the kiss came about, and to me she doesn't seem all that excited. So you then see in the next breath Mimi calls Ao over, and I'm just like, I can't with these shenanigans at all. She needs to stop doing this, stop talking to Ao. I mean, if you want to be friends at the end of the day, but this is getting to be a bit too much with these pulling each other for chats all the fucking time. So Ao says he's overthinking the situation with how everything has been happening. Mimi says that basically they are trying to navigate stuff while being with others, and it's like they do need to set boundaries with each other. So I asked Mimi, is that what she wants to do? She says, I don't know, bro. And they start laughing. I'm like, no, this ain't it, this ain't it, this ain't it, this is not it. Because from an outsider looking in, it looks like you two are doing too much playful banter at the end of the day. And basically Mimi, I know she can't switch off her feelings, but she has to literally think about how Ayo did her at the end of the day. I'm not saying that she has to be angry at the guy, but she literally needs to put in firm boundaries with this man to say, look, it's shut off completely. I'm happy being friends with you, but I am here to like look at my connection with Josh at this moment in time, and you need to do that with Jessica at the end of the day. So Josh goes over to Sean and Ruben, and Josh ain't happy. Let me put it this way, Josh was livid about the situation that's happening between Ayo and Mimi, because as again, person looking in, it just looks like they're having too much joyful freaking banter, and Josh ain't liking that shit right now. So Josh says basically he don't want to come into no situations with Mimi if she ain't shut that shit down. Basically, Mimi is saying to Ayo that it's best for them to respect Josh and Jessica, but it's weird because they have never been in a space like this before. And I'm just hoping Mimi don't give this guy a blight at the end of the day. I know they have to navigate a newness with them, but I just want them to set down clear boundaries with each other about what it is that they're doing and leave it at that, basically. Because I'm hoping that Mimi don't make Josh look like a dickhead up in here, like seriously, when this man's coming for her and she needed someone like Josh at the end of the day to show her basically that, you know what, Ayo was not the one for you. Ayo was not the one for you. So someone is talking to Josh and saying that Ayo still has feelings for Mimi, and it pissed off Josh the most because he feels that Ayo's been doing the most at the end of the day. So Ruben tells Josh that what you need to do is talk to Mimi, and Josh is getting hella irate at this point, and he's basically saying about, well, why are they sitting there smiling with each other? Does she take this for a joke, basically? So when man's going to the talk like that, you know they're hella pissed at this moment, that they're not containing their emotions very well, and Josh is not. He's getting angrier and angrier each time it goes along, and I'm like, shit won't end well with Mimi, with Josh, if she because she needs to give a clear indication of what she wants, especially as she's already told Josh that she has nothing with Ayo anymore in the slightest. Now, I don't think Ayo and Mimi's conversation was anything to worry about, because they were literally trying to get on an even pegging field to try and navigate the relationship that they have now, where they're not together. In that sense, they're not a couple, they're not looking to be in a couple, they're friends, but how do you then navigate from being in a couple to being exes? You're with other people, and then navigating all of that together and setting in clear boundaries with each other as well. I think that's what the conversation that they were having, but because they were laughy, jokey too much, on the outside looking in, as I've already said, it looked like it was too much playful banter. So Ruben said basically that it's Ayo that keeps pulling Mimi for chats. But at that point, it wasn't. It was Mimi that actually pulled Ayo for that chat, for that one. Josh basically says that it's really hard, as he doesn't want to tell Mimi what to do and like who she should speak to, who she shouldn't speak to and stuff like that. But as Ruben says, Josh needs to have that conversation with Mimi, keep it open and honest, and Mimi needs to reciprocate that to literally allay the fears that's going on with Josh right now. So basically, Sean has a big mouth for real. That man can't keep nothing to himself. So he's there chatting to Joey, and he's chatting the Josh's business and Mimi and everything that had gone on in that conversation. So basically, Josh in bed tells Mimi that we need to have a proper chat tomorrow. And I'm like, yep, it better be a proper chat too. And I think it is, I think it was Mimi that was telling Josh in bed after he said that the thing with Ayo is definitely done between them. She used the words right now is done, and Josh ain't stupid. He picked up on that and asked her, what do you mean right now? And Mimi said, yes, it's done as of right now. So to me, that means that Mimi is not entertaining Ayo in a romantic sense at all. But as I said, the way they be kikiing and with each other shows something else, and Mimi needs to be careful and assured that she's being honest with Josh when she's saying what she's saying. So it comes to the daytime, and I'ma say it, I don't know if Connor's really interested in Lolly at the end of the day. So basically, Lolly says that she's going to be chatting to everyone, and I thought at this point, just leave Kieran out of that chat fully. Like, your chat is closed with Kieran at this point in time. He doesn't need to be involved with that. So Jessie pulls Lolly up about what she said to Joey. And I'm like, who the fuck cares at the end of the day? So Jessie is saying that it comes across as a low blow. And she thought that she thought that Lolly was trying to get into Joey's head. And I'm just like, how did she get, how? So Lolly's saying, expressing what she saw on screen to Joey was literally her trying to get in Joey's head. Joey's not that stupid at the end of the day, and Joey took what she said with a pinch of motherfucking salt, and I think Jessie should too at the end of the day. I mean, these girls kind of take liberties, yeah, with these bombshells that come in, because at the end of the day, it's the lads that they're with that owe them the loyalty, not the bombshells that come in. And at the end of the day, Lolly is a bombshell, and Jessie and Joey ain't closed off. So if that's where Jessie wants it to be, then she needs to have that conversation with Joey at the end of the day to get it to a point of where they're actually exclusive with each other. Because according to the laws of the villa, if you ain't closed off, exclusive, boyfriend or girlfriend, yeah, then they're fair game. At the end of the day, they are fair game. I mean, the girls coming in or the lad coming in can kind of be respectful of the connection that you've already made with that person. But if they're literally in there looking for someone that they know that they connect with on a deeper and personal level, they're gonna go for it. Okay, so yeah. So Josh grabs Ayo. I love this. I love when Josh grabs Ayo, because this is what I mean about standing on business and men being men, because Josh was not in the mood to play. So at the end of the day, he grabbed Ayo to find out what that is going on between him and Mimi, basically, before he makes a step to Mimi, before he has a conversation with Mimi. At the end of the day, he went to Ayo. So Mimi was basically saying, because you see Mimi and I think Jessica looking over, and Mimi was saying that she wished she was a fly on that wall for that conversation. So Josh basically asked Ayo, where is your head at? When it comes to Mimi, where's your head at? And basically Ayo is saying that it's with Jessica. So Josh asked Ayo point blank, is Mimi making you feel like that door is still open? And this is what I mean by Josh saying that, Josh going straight to the issue and not playing or pussyfooting around how he's feeling. He's literally telling this dude, like, you know what, I need this information, let me know before I make my next move. So Ayo is basically saying that no, Mimi has not made him feel like that at all. Basically, it was just an understanding that what they hadn't fully disappeared. And I'm kind of like, well, what does that mean in the grand scheme of things? Because Ayo likes to talk in riddles. He thinks he's talking rings around people, but he isn't. People actually see the fact that he sometimes chats a whole lot of shit and says a whole lot of nothing. You see, Mimi asked Jessica how things are going with Ayo. I love it when they do that. And Jessica said it's going fine, but feels that Ayo could be better with communication. So then she asked Mimi if that was the same with her. And basically Mimi says that yeah, it's the same, that he often speaks in riddles. And I'm like, my God, Mimi, if you saw that, why the fuck didn't you pick this boy up about it? Because Jessa picked him up about it in regards to saying stuff that don't make no clear sense, and having to get him to say it again to make sense with it. So Mimi and Jessica see exactly what Ayo does when he talks in a certain way. Ayo thinks he's being mysterious and elusive, but it not work. It's not working for him. So basically Mimi is trying to say that Ayo is trying to process the stuff that has gone on recently, and I think that's where his head is at. So Ayo is basically going back to Ayo and Josh's conversation, Ayo is telling Josh that he literally has nothing to worry about at all. And basically Ayo is telling Josh that he's in a great position with Mimi. So basically Josh was open and honest with Ayo by saying that his head was scrambled, and basically that he got hella mad that night because he didn't know why Mimi and Ayo were laughing it up. So this is where Ayo kind of got serious, because at first he was giggling thinking it was funny, and then he realised, oh shit, this man is serious about what he's saying, that Josh got mad. And that's when Ayo got serious and said, you know what, it ain't like that at all. Like, seriously, tried to placate him and said it ain't like that at all. And this is what I mean about these people. When they're talking to each other, they need to consider the other people's feelings that they're coupled off with at the moment, and stop taking people for dickheads. Like, they're gonna keep taking this shit in front of their face when it's not no, they're not gonna keep taking it. And that's why I think Josh said, you know what, I'm gonna dry you out right now. I'm gonna tell you that, you know what, this is where my head is at. I'm for Mimi. You need to literally keep away from this girl. Like, seriously, if you're chatting to her, chat to her at the end of the day, but don't sit there and be like all the time. That's not what Josh no one to see that, because people can read into that, which is what Josh did. And he made it clear to AO exactly that, you know what, nah, things can't go on like that no more. No. A text comes in, and Sean and Matilda have their first date. They have a white Porsche which Sean drives, and I'm like, okay, the producers kind of went all out on some of these dates at the end of the day. And it's weird because they actually do look good together. Like, when they're in the car, they actually do look good together, but Sean just reminds me of a little boy. Like, for real, he reminds me of a little boy. So there's nothing to write home about with that date. Sean and these guys with their stilted Spanish wrecking the freaking language. So basically, Sean is telling Matilda about how he can see marriage and kids and building a family with Matilda. Matilda is completely over the Casa situation, basically saying that Sean has proved himself to her. And I'm like, what did he prove? Because I didn't see what he proved himself. But hey ho, it's for Matilda to say that. It's for Matilda to go forward in what she feels is best for her, and that's what she's doing. So it seems as though, like, Sean and Matilda then became exclusive, so that's another couple that's closed off completely. So we then go back to the villa, and you see Jessica and Ao having a chat. And Jessica was basically asking him how he felt, and he was saying that he's in a better mood than he was yesterday. And then Jessica ultimately wants to know what the chat with Josh was about. And this is my thing. I don't understand why they keep asking them what their chats was about. If someone wants to freely give you that information, all well and good, but you don't have to literally ask them and ask them questions. So Ao basically says what the chat was about, and that Josh was mad at seeing him and Mimi in the den laughing and joking. So Jessica goes, oh, what do you mean, last night? And he went, yeah. And Jessica turned around and says, well, I didn't know you had a chat last night with Mimi. Why didn't you say? And I thought, oh shit, here it goes. I don't know if Jessica may be becoming a little bit too clingy, and I don't think Ao will like being questioned in this manner, but it's what he gets, actually. So he should have been honest and open with Jessica at the end of the day, and I don't think he does that enough with her. So Ao said it wasn't anything concerning, so he basically didn't feel the need to tell Jessica that he talked to Mimi. So he turned around and said to her, well, do I need to tell you every time that I talk to Mimi? Jessica got pissed by that. In response, she got up and she walks away and tells Ao, I'm going because you're jarring. And he's like, well, what do you mean? And I was like, that would mean yes, Ao. Every time you talk to Mimi, judging by Jessica's behaviour, you would need to tell her that you two have had these chats, no matter inconsequential of the chat it may be. You need to tell her. Yeah, I thought that was kind of weird. So Connor sits with Ao, and Ao tells Connor exactly what had just happened between him and Jessica. And basically, you could see that Jessica was pissed. So Connor said at the end of the day, he needs to nip that shit in the bud and go and have a conversation with Jessica. Because as it is, Jessica goes and grabs Grace, and like, Ao is like, well, why the fuck is she grabbing Grace for? What the frick is Grace going to tell her that I'm not going to tell her at the end of the day? Because Ao's seen it as a fact of, at least it came from me, and not from somebody else. And I'm kind of like, if you're that pissed and you're that worried, go chat to the man, yeah, and tell him why you're pissed. So Jessica is basically saying that, you know, she's not angry over Mimi and Ao having a talk. What it is she's trying to say is it's how he said it to her at the pool. Like, she was pissed off with the fact that he turned around and says to her, well, what do I have to tell you every time I talk to Mimi? Now, my thing is actually, yeah, in what Jessica has said to him could be misconstrued as Ayo needs to tell Jessica every time he has a conversation, no matter if it's important or not important, the conversations he has with Mimi. Because she turned around and she basically said, what? You had a chat with Mimi last night? Why didn't you tell me? So that could be misconstrued as to say, well, you need to tell me every time you talk to this girl, and not let me find out the next day that you've spoken to her and not said anything. That's how it can, like, you know, be manifested into. But Jessica didn't see it that way. She saw it as Ayo accusing her of wanting something that she wouldn't do, because at the end of the day, Jessica saw it as she's never stood in the way of Ayo and Mimi having discussions or any chats or anything like that. So for Ayo to say something like that to her pissed her the hell off, but she didn't see how she was talking and bringing things out that may have made Ayo think, well, hold on a minute, are you saying I need to talk to you every time I do that or not? I thought it was just stupid, really. I think it was miscommunication, cross wires, but I thought it was stupid in the way that, you know, Jessica got up. It was drama where it didn't need to be drama at the end of the day. Jessica and Ayo talk, and basically Ayo does apologise to Jessica, and Jessica was basically saying, I don't know why you didn't keep me in the loop. And again, Jessica's words would speak of her wanting to know every time he has a conversation with someone in that place. Being kept in the loop means every time you have a conversation with someone, especially when it comes to Mimi, that's significant to Jessica because you're talking to Mimi. Keep me in the loop as to what's going on. Makes no sense at all. Made no sense at all. That whole argument made not one lick of sense to me. So Lolly speaks to Ruben, and basically they're just having a general chat, and basically saying that he's talking to Grace at the moment and he is enjoying it. You see Sean and Matilda come back, so the chats happen, and each one of them let the boys and the girls know that they're now exclusive. And then the text comes in and basically said it's recoupling, girls will choose and Lolly will choose first. I'm telling you, they give these people a high and then whack it right out from under them. So it comes to the night time and everybody's getting for the recoupling. So Lolly does get up and choose first, and she picks Connor. So Nicole ends up picking Kieran, and Kieran basically says this whole speech, and he says 1 minute he's been wanting to say this for a long time and he can't wait any longer. So he said everything Nicole said is exactly how he feels in terms of being in love with her, and that he loves the bones off her. He doesn't want to wait to start the new chapter outside the villa and wants to start it now. So he did all of that to ask Nicole to be his girlfriend. I thought the speech was damn good, but it was anticlimactic at the end. And of course Nicole said yes, and everybody was happy for them, right off into the sunset now, singing Tally Ho. You know, you got what you came for. Let's hope it lasts on the outside. So Grace is basically standing up, and in her speech she says she's still open to getting to know other people. And she picks Ruben. I felt her speech was kind of pants, to be honest with you. And this is what I say about when the speeches come, just as with Kieran and with Nicole, you need to make it about the person that you are about to pick. Stop making it about every other thing that's going on in the freaking villa. I mean, did we really need to know that Grace was open within her speech? No, we didn't, because that basically speaks of the fact that, you know what, I like you, but I don't like you that much, but you're necessarily the only person in here that's really single, so I'ma just go for you anyway. That's how it speaks to me. It's not heartfelt. It's just like, I have no other options, so ergo, Ruben is it. So Jessie, of course, picked Joey. Matilda picked Sean. Mimi, her speech was good. Her speech was definitely good. She said it was not a tough decision to make, and she's excited for it, and she chose Josh. And I was like, well done. Well done. Ayo did not look happy in the slightest with that, because I think he could see now that, you know what, that door is closed. Leave her the fuck alone now, okay? So Jessica, of course, picked Ayo. She had no choice to pick him, but she did turn around and talk about that with them, communication has to be key at the end of the day, because Ayo is not a very good communicator. So when it comes to the night time, everybody's happy in their couples, and then you look at Jessica and Ayo, they're not look happy at all. Anyway, that is where that episode ended. I'll be back in quick succession with the next episode. As I always ask, please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that notification button so you know I'm on and doing videos. Please comment, like, share, and do all the good things that you do, because I am on the road to 1K. And I will speak to you all again soon, my people. Peace out.